Hello, this is Dr. Benoit, and I am pleased to welcome you to Education 689, a summer intensive course. This is going to be your brief orientation to the course, and you will be able to locate the orientation right here. This is my Bitmoji classroom, and so it's going to be right here in the laptop portion. You'll have that you'll have the overview. But please make sure you click on all of these because it's just telling you a little bit more about myself, my interests, my educational philosophy. And you'll get to see awesome pictures of my beautiful dog, Sadie. And things I'm reading. Let's see, I've got a reading list in here and all sorts of things like that. So just check out my little Bitmoji classroom. The Bitmoji classroom is an option for you as one of your field experience hours if you're interested in creating your own Bitmoji classroom to link to your Canva or Blackboard or whatever type site your district uses. It is an option. It is not required. It is an option. But this overview is going to be right here in the laptop. So I'm going to go back to the course, and this is the links here at the top are the basic resources that you may need over and over again. So the general things, the announcements, the syllabus, and then the meet and greet, that's the Bitmoji classroom. Textbook information is in these two links. So this is information about the textbook, and it's about how to opt out. If you would prefer to get a hard copy of the book, you can. And so the directions are here where it says textbook information. It walks you through it. If you like the red shelf option, that's right here for you. But if you decide not to use the red shelf option, make sure that you opt out of it or you will automatically be charged for it. And I think it's like $58 or something like that. So the directions, though, are all right here where it says textbook information. This is our course calendar. And so I've already kind of opened it up for you. It is an intensive course, which means that we move very quickly. So it is really 6.5 weeks. And our course calendar breaks everything down for you. It tells you what readings are due when due dates are, helps you to kind of look ahead, plan, know what's happening. And then everything's wrapped up by July 18th. So that course calendar is up there at the top. And then this is late work documentation. Read through the syllabus very carefully, and it goes over the late work policy and how to contact me if you need to submit work late. And this is where you would upload any documentation that you would have that would excuse the late work so that you're not penalized for it. So it details all of that in the syllabus. So please make sure that you are taking time to read the syllabus very carefully. It details how to communicate, what we're going to be doing in the class, brief description of the class. And so we'll take just a little bit of time to look at the description of it before we jump down to look at the modules. So 689 is called Creative Thinking and Problem Solving. It explores the many facets of creativity, including classic and current psychological and educational theories of creativity and creativity training. Creativity will be discussed with attention to the creative person, the creative process, and the creative product. Candidates will gain knowledge and experience in creating thinking processes and attitudes toward the enhancement of personal creativity and creativity in the classroom. Candidates will develop and prepare materials and activities to be used in classrooms to stimulate creativity. Options are provided for application to gifted populations. And so it is part of the series that's required for your academically gifted certification. So for those of you who are striving for that, it is required. It is worth 3 hours, and you have 15 field experience hours, which I'll go over here in just a moment. It is an asynchronous online course, which means that it's fully online. Everything's going to be opened up for you. You have to meet the deadlines, but you're allowed to work ahead if you would like to. So it details all of that here. If you need to meet for any reason during the course, just email me and we can easily set up a Zoom in case you have any questions about any of the materials. So as I mentioned before, this is the textbook, and the textbook information is, there's a link again also on the Moodle for this. This details our major assessment, which we have a major assessment, the creativity project, and this details how you're going to get your observation hours. So please make sure you spend a little bit of time reading through the syllabus. One more thing, this chart details all of the outcomes that we're going to study, that we're going to, our learning goals. And then if you look right here where it says assessment, focus prompt 1, all the way through, this details how those things are assessed in the course. When it says focus prompt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you will actually work on those in discussion boards throughout the week. And you will also, they culminate. So every discussion board is kind of something that you're going to be thinking, you're going to be writing about, and that can actually be used in your creativity project. So you will have to reformat it. You may have to rewrite some portions of it, but it's a culminating project that you're really working toward all semester. So that's what the focus prompt is all about. And then the rest of this details the standards that we are striving toward. This is how you're going to receive your points for the course, how you receive your grade. So please make sure you check that out. It breaks it down by percentage, by assignment, and by category. And then this is the portion that details how to submit late work, how to contact me, what is defined as excused, and then please note this is our grading scale. So, all right, I think that pretty much takes care of everything. The end of the syllabus are our academic policies and resources. So don't hesitate to use those resources. You are paying for them. So we've got some excellent resources for counseling, for tutoring, for the Writing Center. They're wonderful. And also, in every single lesson, I'm going to actually give you the references that I used in that specific lesson, but these are the predominant ones that are used throughout the course. And this is our calendar, which I already showed you. And then this is the rubric for the major assessment that you will do in the class, the creativity project. All right, so that takes care of the syllabus. Again, please read through it on your own. Let me just show you how every module is set up. They are all already opened to you. So all of our modules are opened except the last one, the farewell and extensions. But every module is open, it's ready to go, and you are allowed to work ahead. I know that it's summertime, and so you've got travel, and you may have some other responsibilities. Everything is open so that you are able to work ahead and plan around those events. I'm also traveling. I also have other things that I'm doing and things I'm working on. And so I understand the need to be able to work ahead so that you can enjoy, some of your summer and do some of those other things that you have in mind for the summer. So let me just show you the way that the modules are set up. So here is week 1, definitions and models. So if you click on this, this is going to take you to our lecture for week 1. And let's see, it is a narrated lecture. So I am talking you through the PowerPoint, the slide deck, so to speak, for the lecture. I'm talking you through it. And there are also other links that are going to be present in the slide deck. Of course, you're not going to be able to get that through the lecture. So that's where you would click, and it's going to take you to the actual slide deck. And so I have materials that are linked in the slide deck. So for example, this slide has 2 different videos on it. Of course, you cannot get that through the YouTube link, the narrated version. So that I've provided the raw one for you as well. And then you've got your readings, so the chapters that you should be reading each week. So kind of let me give you a little tip. The lectures are 45 minutes on average. So there's one that's about 30 minutes, and that's the shortest one. And then the longest one is an hour. There's a little bit more material covered in that one. So they average 45 minutes. Your readings are going to take you anywhere from, I would average an hour for the readings in the chapters. Some of them may be a little bit more, but some of them a little bit less. Some of them are a little bit briefer. And then simply working through the material itself, that's where your 3 hours really comes from. You're going to have a discussion board. That's probably going to take you, which I'll tell you, let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. So every week you'll have a discussion board, and it's got, the discussion board is going to have, it reiterates the readings, and it's going to have the focus prompt for that week so that you can see what our, basically what our thinking is for that week, the focus for our lesson is. And then it's going to have 3 to 5 questions. They typically average about 4 of them. And the last question is always going to be about your personal creativity pursuit. So you're going to have about 3 that are about the actual lesson itself. I'm trying to get you to think creatively about the material, really personally apply it to your own content area or your own life. And then this personal creativity pursuit is something that's embedded in every discussion board. So over the next 5 weeks, I want you to begin and work on a new or existing creative outlet or project. So it can be personal or professional. And you're going to work on it throughout the course. And you keep notes of your creative process, your motivations, your supports and challenges, your cognitive, social, emotional, and spiritual outcomes. And every week we reflect on your progress. And based on what we studied that week, we look at it from different angles, this creativity pursuit. So I think this time I'm actually going to do embroidery for mine. I haven't totally decided yet, but I think that's what I'm going to do. It's something I've been wanting to work on, so I think that's what I'm going to pick. I oftentimes pick things that I can do professionally so that I can use them. That's how the Bitmoji classroom evolved. But I think I'm going to do something that I just want to do for fun, embroidery. So we'll see though. Well, we'll let you know. I might completely change it by the time we get there. But that's what the discussion boards are like. And so notice right here is each discussion board is worth 20 points, and the rubric is right here attached so that you can see how to do it. And your post by and reply by date is right there. So that's every week. That's going to be your class collaboration and engagement. And then you're going to have an observation task for the first 5 weeks. So you have 5 discussion boards and you have 5 observation tasks. So task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The movie project and the creativity project is where you've got 5 hours embedded in those final tasks. And those are done in weeks 6 and 7. So make sure you read over this carefully. This is the observation and clinical experience activities guidelines. Read over it very carefully. It tells you how to keep track of your tasks, how you're scored on them, how you're going to get your points for each portion of it. And right here, please note that the observation tasks are aligned with the specific weekly learning outcomes. However, you are allowed to complete tasks in any order to maximize your learning. So if you need to mix them up, you're welcome to. This gives you the list of tasks. So there are 5 of them. They're worth 16 points each, and the rubric is at the bottom. So I'll show you the rubric in just a moment. But this details every single week you're going to have 2 different options. Notice this is a summer class, so you're not going to be given a formal field placement. And you are welcome to, like, for some of them, you can actually go and watch students. So this one says working on a project in a performance or an enrichment camp. You're welcome to go to a summer school if you would like to. But I was just kind of opening the door for you to do something a little bit more creative. But again, you're welcome to do a summer school if you would like to. It's been my experience that that doesn't work very well because typically Summer school, they're really mostly going over things that are directly tied to the standardized testing. And we don't see a whole lot of creativity going on in those classes, unfortunately. Typically, I don't want to stereotype, but it's pretty regimented is what I'm trying to say. So, but there are lots of things, a live performance, a museum, um, read a biography of a creative person, lots of different things. Interview. I I have some links to some articles here for you. So lots of cool things, lots of things to talk about, discuss here. So I do want you to scroll all the way to the bottom because I've got alternatives here. So if your two options for each week aren't really jiving with what you want to do, check out these alternatives. You may prefer those. And the very last one, alternative 5, is basically freestyle. So you can mix and match any of the chapters that you need to suit your learning needs and goals. And if you've got an idea for a field experience, please pitch it to me. It might work perfectly, and we could come up with some type of protocol that matches the requirements. So feel free to mix and match as needed to get your hours, or come up with something of your own. Just email me and make sure that it's aligned with what we need for the course. This is the rubric for what you do with the course. You do not upload them until the very end. So module 7 is actually week 7 is where you upload it. And there's also a place where you're going to actually select 2 to 3 of them and put it on a discussion forum so that your peers can kind of also see what you've been working on for observation tasks. So that takes care of observation. So this is what every week looks like for the first 5 weeks. You've got learning materials, readings, a discussion board, and then your clinical experience task. When we get to week 6, this is where things change just a little bit. You have a movie project. So I want you to have fun with this. This is where you get to select a movie to actually apply the concepts that we have been learning about all semester. So I give you some links to 3 different movies, and these are movies that are about highly creative, gifted individuals or groups of people. And so that's what we're really focusing on here. This walks you through how to do the analysis. It gives you some questions, some focus questions to consider for your analysis. And it also discusses formatting and the rubric for it. So that's there. And that's going to be in week 6. Now, you're welcome to do it earlier. The reason I put it in week 6, though, is by that point, you've gone through all of the material and you can truly apply the content to what you're watching. The reason that we get 2 hours for this clinical experience is, you're really doing observation here. Some of the links are to real people, like the movie Hidden Figures, which I'm going to plug repeatedly throughout this film. Throughout this course, because I just love it. So that's one of them. And that's about, of course, real people and real events. But then there are also fictional ones. You pick, I recommend that you pick one you've never seen before, although it might be meaningful to pick one that you've already seen. And now, look at it through the lens of this new content. You may appreciate it in a whole new way. And then lastly, I say that this is week 7, and it technically is. We're in week 7, but please note that it is not a full week. So don't be deceived by that. By the 18th, all of this stuff needs to be turned in. The movie project needs to be turned in by the 14th. I need time to grade those. Those are written works, written analysis. I need time to go through and grade those. And then this one, so your observation, your clinical experience tasks, they need to be uploaded by the 18th, and your creativity project. So I'll briefly take a little bit of time and kind of tell you a little bit about the creativity project. It is actually, no, I'm not going to take time to do that here. I'm going to let you read through it, and then if we need to, we can set up a Zoom to discuss that. But each discussion board has contained a focus prompt that actually culminates in this project. And it is a slide deck. You're putting together a slide deck of your learning. The instructions and the rubric are right there for you. And I think you can pretty much walk through that one. And so that's it. You upload your creativity project, your clinical experience hours, submissions and tasks, and then please select 2 to 3 of your tasks and upload them so everybody can kind of see what you've been doing this semester with your clinical experiences. I hope you have a wonderful time. I really enjoy this course. I love it. I think it's a wonderful course to take over the summer. It's a perfect time to explore creativity. So please reach out if you have any questions. My email, of course, is in the syllabus. And I look forward to learning with you all.